I want to explain a bit more about our beliefs and why we think some people can see the supernatural and others can't. So, to take from one of the texts that we study, Genesis 6, 1 through 4. When humans began to increase in number on the earth, and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of humans were beautiful, and they married any of them they chose. Then the Lord said, "My spirit will not contend with humans forever, for they are mortal. Their days will be 120 years. The Nephlim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of humans and had children with them. They were the heroes of old, men of renown." This is the story of the Nephlim and their descendants from our perspective. As we are not Christians, we only draw some of our inspiration from their texts. This is not meant to represent any religion other than our own. As Yahweh seemed to lose interest in the humans again, Asherah asked a group of angels to watch over humanity. Though they were created by evil in his own image, she knew that children could be molded either for good or evil, and she wished her angels to protect them. Since humanity could not look upon the divine without madness, the angels hid in myth and legends, often appearing as some sort of fae to them. That shadow in the corner of your eye, it could be a fae, an angel. They guided humanity to help each other and to love one another. As it can happen when you watch someone from a distance, some of the angels wish to know some of the humans more deeply. Thus, they wish to appear in human form to a select few, both male and female. While an angel could not mate and conceive with another angel, they were only sterile with each other. When the God of gods created them, they created them as capable of laying with a variety of sentient species. So they created angels in a variety of forms, thus making them able to impart divinity into a great many species. While you may think this to be odd or weird, it has a purpose. They, the God of gods, who is neither male nor female, yet also both, wished for many species to eventually contain a spark of divinity, to eventually become a part of the great divinity. The best way to accomplish this was to use the guardians of each species, a creature made of love and created to love, to pass on this spark. Thus, even creatures of an evil god could still, eventually, be capable of looking upon divinity without going insane, and the only way to ensure that such creatures could return to the divine. While their angel form was created by the God of gods, Asherah was the one who loved them and cared for them. Through her love alone, she became the mother of the angels, as creation does not always dictate affection or parentage. As was the plan of the God of gods, some angels did fall in love with some of the humans they watched over. They never laid with a human without their own desire and never without consent. An angel is made of love, so would never wish to hurt a human. It was also something that required a sacrifice of love on the part of the angels. The concept of fallen angels is a misnomer or translation. There was no battle for the heavens between angels who wanted to be gods or those who fought on the side of any god. There was never a civil war of the angels, but a literal falling of angels. As the angels watched over humanity, some fell in love. When they asked Asherah what they could do for the first time in angelic history, the angels felt pain, heartache. A being made of love would feel love even more deeply than a human is capable of. Thus, its heartache would be equally as painful. Asherah spoke to the angels who came to her, crying their first ever tears of pain. She told them they must sacrifice their immortality to exist in the world with the humans they fell in love with. Angels, both male and female, had to fall from grace to become human, while still retaining their own sparks of divinity to pass on to their offspring. Asherah knew that not all of the relationships could result in offspring. As a goddess, Asherah knew that love does not know a gender, nor did the angels. Some of the angels were the same gender as their humans, and Asherah blessed each union equally. Angels, like humanity, like many species, can find love and joy with those of their own gender too. These bonds, both physical and emotional, are blessed by the goddess, as attraction is as fluid and natural in both intelligent species as it is in nature itself. This is the reason why Asherah chose Lilith as her first human companion, because she knew that there was no shame in honoring someone you love physically. While she knew love was as fluid as water, she wanted her children and children's children to know this too. Asherah told the angels that, should they choose to leave heaven and give up their immortality, she would grant them a human soul. They would be granted a human body that would grow old, grow sick, and die. They would know pain and hunger, loneliness, and death. If they were willing to make this sacrifice, they could spend that time with their human, should their chosen human love them in return. The Great Mother knew this would result in children from the angels, and she blessed them too. She would call them Nephlim, and they would be her people on earth. Those she would have a right in the eyes of the gods to protect and even to speak with. And through the generations, Asherah hoped that all of humanity would become children of the Nephlim. One by one, the angels made their choice, and thousands chose humanity over immortality. Asherah sent each to earth, where they lived the rest of their lives as human. Some angels found that the object of their affection did not return their feelings, and this hurt them greatly. This was the risk the angels took, and why many angels chose not to fall. The free will granted to humans at birth broke the hearts of the rare few. Once they had become human, they were granted their own free will. Some of the angels chose evil deeds over goodness, and rather than subject humanity to another evil thing, Asherah imprisoned them in another dimension. Some call this hell, an underworld, or even Hades. This was to protect the immortal souls they had been granted. The angels were punished for their transgressions, but Asherah did not want to see them suffer eternally. She cleansed their souls through fire, took their pain, and granted them a place of redemption. They will punish the evil that humans do to cleanse their souls. Asherah knew that what one would call a sin could be subjective in a society, that evil or sin could never be determined by a hard set of rules. A killing to defend your own life would not be judged as a killing for joy would be. When a soul is judged after death, the life and circumstances of that life would also be judged, uniquely, individually, just as each human is unique. Being kind with your heart, not just your actions, would make a huge difference in the judgment. Even though the fallen angels had been rejected by love, they were still creatures of love. It is a rare human that would actually suffer in a true hellish fashion, as only truly evil humans would suffer in such a way. The true human soul, objected to what is good and evil, often will be the determining factor if one deserves to be punished and how. Once your soul has been punished, if it is punished, it will ascend to the Summerlands, a place of love and peace. A new form where you could see your loved ones again, both living and dead. For death is not the end. It is just the beginning of a new life, a change of existence. Living a life of kindness, helping others, one of light and love, will ensure a quick transition into a new world. I'm Elder Eliza with the Church of Light. Blessed be, my friends, and remember, the flowers are blooming in Antarctica.